This is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time! Presenting the champion of the world, Phil Wham Bam Benamino!
Yo, it's your boy, it's Phil Wham Bam Benamino, and it's another Wham Bam Wednesday. You know, the show about ordinary people who've done extraordinary things, and today's no different. Got an awesome guest for you today. But first, as always, remember the show is free. So we ask you to please go down below and hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, make sure you hit all the alert buttons so that you can get all of our alerts. So anytime we post anything new, you know, you kind of get it. You can share it, you can like it, you can give us some love. Give us some love, okay? That's it. Today's episode, I have Mr. Georgia QB1. That's right. State champion Luke Nickel is in the house today. Luke, how are you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. It's great to see you as well.
Man, I'm so excited about chopping this up with you. I've been trying to get you here. You've been going so hard. Regional Player of the Year, state champion. Now you're down in Miami last weekend, you know, playing in a 7-on-7 with Cam Newton's team. You guys won that one too, didn't you?
Yes, sir. We won it all. We balled out that whole weekend.
That's all you do is win, baby. That's all you do is win.
Yes, sir.
So you're a really wanted kid for sure. But, I want to talk a little bit about your journeys and stuff. But first of all, congratulations on all the success you've had so far to date.
Thank you.
So it just shows all your hard work, man. I remember when you were really small and you were a young kid playing with the Paladins, playing with Brandon Jacobs' team out there, and people were questioning, who's this quarterback? He's too small. Is he really that good? And look at you today. You're like, yeah, baby. How do you like it, man? How do you like being QB1?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, just growing up, being a quarterback my whole life, there's always going to be those people that are, look down on you and try to say negative things about you. But really just I take that and just kind of use it as my fuel and just kind of be myself with it and just kind of grow and work hard off of it.
Man, if people ain't hating you, you ain't doing nothing right. That's what I say,
Yes,
man.
sir.
That's it in a nutshell. So you're going to always have haters no matter what, because
sure.
people don't want, they want you to come down to their level. They don't want to go up to yours.
For
So
sure.
hell with them, man. You're doing what you got to do. So, tell me a little bit first. I mean, obviously football. We're going to talk about football. We're going to chop that up, obviously. But was football always your sport, man? Growing up, is that something you always wanted to do, or did you have other sports you used to play?
Yeah, I've always played multiple sports growing up. Football was definitely my passion, and I didn't really notice it until about 12, 13 is really when I started to stick with football. But I've played baseball, basketball. I even swam when I was younger.
Yeah, a little swimmer.
Yeah,
there
yes,
you
sir.
go. That's good exercise, man, right there. Wait a second, you got your sister's a big swimmer,
Yes,
isn't she?
she's
a
a
D1
swimmer at SMU.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, congrats to her. Big
And then
shout out
my
there.
mom even swam at Northeastern.
Oh,
So,
yeah, mom did a little swimming too.
Yeah.
See, I just think, man. Women, I just think. I can't. I'm not a very good swimmer, but yeah, that's great for endurance and,
For sure.
and great work to keep you, to keep you healthy too.
Yeah.
When you're not, your joints are hurting and everything else, get in that pool. So, being that you were swam, you did some of these other sports. What did you excel at most? Were you always an athlete in every sport, or were you good in everything, or what?
I'd say I was pretty good at everything. Definitely my main two were baseball and football. I've played baseball all the way up till 13U.
Let me guess. Were you a pitcher?
I was a catcher, actually. My
Really?
main position
Catcher,
was
okay.
catcher. I played all positions.
Yeah.
But catcher was my main position. I was pretty good at catching.
Well, it's funny because I too actually caught when I was in high school, and people don't realize the catcher actually throws more than the pitcher.
Yes.
Because you're throwing it back to the pitcher every time, but also you got that long throw to second base when they're stealing.
For sure.
That's right.
It's a lot of throwing. In those weekends, it tears your arm down and just kind of wears you out as the season goes.
Right. Now, you come from a big family, obviously a bunch of athletes. I know your dad went to college, went to Stanford College there, played football there. I know your brother's at Michigan State, right? Jack's there now.
Yep.
Does that put a lot of pressure on you being the baby in the family that, hey, I got all the, your sister's D1 athlete as well, that I got big shoes here to follow, or did you never really bothered you?
I wouldn't say it's any pressure or anything like that. Just growing up and seeing them and seeing how they went about their process and just looking up to them, looking up to my older siblings and just taking what they have to give to me and their advice has really just helped me along the way. So I wouldn't really say any pressure has been involved. I've just been sticking to what I do best and just keep working hard, and everything will handle on its own.
Well, high school football certainly has changed over the years. People are evolving left and right. Just with not just with techniques and different types of equipment that you can use to increase your speed, to increase your endurance. What do you do in the off season? What did you do to help yourself to get better and to excel more?
Yeah, I do a lot. Lifting with my team, obviously, playing Cam Newton 7v7. And really just throwing with my guys in the offseason.
Now, when you say Cam Newton, playing with Cam Newton, what is that you were playing? Because, I think Cam was playing with you. I saw a little clip, I think. It looked like he was playing with you at one time this weekend after you threw a pass. What was up with that?
Yeah,
he likes to play, isn't he?
Yeah, Cam Newton's an experience. I really like him. I love him. But he's an experience for sure.
Yeah.
You got to get to know him and really see his side of things. But I've really enjoyed playing with him the past 3 years, and I've learned a lot from him.
So he's actually taking the time to actually help coach as well. He didn't just bring you over there and say, hey, I got a good quarterback, and boom, that's it. Now, let me ask you real quick. How do you compare against him? I know he's out there trying to toss the ball around. How do you feel? Can you throw him? You think you're going to be better than him?
Yeah, so he's always at practice. I'll have maybe a not as good of a throw or something like that, and he'll be over there right next to me trying to get in there. So he'll be like, give me the ball, and then he'll go show me how he can throw. And I think it's a lot of fun, and it's a good atmosphere to be in at practice.
Do you ever do any challenges with him? Like I just said, I see his show. He's got his 4th and 1. Sometimes those games. You know what, Cam? If you're listening, I think you should do a little challenge with Luke here. I bet you he could beat you in a football toss. I bet you could beat him in the football toss.
I think I'm gonna have to try to convince him to do that.
Yeah. We're gonna have to talk to him about that.
For sure.
So that's kind of cool though. So you get not only are you getting during the season, but the 7-on-7 work as well. Do you feel like the 7-on-7 has really helped your game and to elevate that? Because there's a lot of controversy about 7-on-7, whether kids should really play or whether they shouldn't play. How do you feel like it's done for you?
Oh, I think it's improved me a lot. I've done it since I was about 14, and just doing that in the off season really just keeps my mind sharp and my arm really healthy and my arm in shape. Really just keeping my timing down with my receivers, and it's really helped me grow into the quarterback who I am right now.
You talked about timing, which is real important, but is it hard when you're dealing with receivers that you're not playing with every day? Like you have a new set of receivers, I'm guessing, on the 7-on-7 versus you did in high school when you played with the Milton Eagles.
Sure.
So getting used to that speed and that timing and stuff, how difficult is that, and how quick can you develop?
Yeah, no, that's like the main thing as a quarterback, is I think just finding the timing with your receivers. And I feel like I do a pretty good job of that, is kind of adjusting to the receiver. So I find a way to make it work with the receiver, and just their personality and their skill set. I know what to make them a ball off of that. I know if I need to throw this guy a back shoulder or a high ball, just depending on that skill set that they have.
A lot of RPOs these days, right?
Yeah.
So are you making a lot of the calls yourself now at quarterback, where you and a receiver can actually have that cohesiveness where you're going to know where to put it on the back shoulder, and do you have that freedom? The coach give you that freedom and stuff?
Yeah, my coach, Coach Jackson, he gives me tons of freedom. During the week, we talk about certain checks that we have against this call, certain routes that we run against this look that we get, and just being able to do that in practice and really focus on getting better in practice doing those certain checks has allowed me and the receivers to do great things on Friday nights and just kind of go out there and do our thing.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about Friday nights, because Friday nights turned out to be, what'd you guys get, like 33 wins in a row? Something like that, as far as with your Milton Eagles there?
Yeah, we had a pretty good run this year.
Yeah.
We went 13-2. We lost 2 games early in the season, but we battled through that all, and just I think that's what separated us, was we came together after those 2 losses. And
I am a little
stuck
disappointed.
together.
I think the reason being is you didn't get 4,000 passing yards. You were so close. You were at 39-14, right?
Close, way too close.
3,914 yards. That's amazing, bro.
Yep. Yes,
That's
sir.
amazing. So that just tells you right there that you're on target and stuff. What do you think the biggest reason for that was?
I'd say just my accuracy. That's like my biggest skill set, I think, and my leadership is just going out there and taking control of the offense and really just playing off of that, feeding on what the defense gives me and just going out there and ball.
All right, so take me through it. What's the first thing you look for? Defense steps on the field. You're getting ready to walk up there. What's the first thing you're looking at?
So first off, I'll probably look at the defensive front, just see what they're in.
Bam, they're in 3 front. They're in a
Yep.
bear. They're in 4. Where they at? All right,
And
I got
then
you.
right after that, then I'll get my protection set up. But when I'm looking at my protections, I look at like safety rolls and see where my safety structure is at, just because some blitzes can be off of that certain safety structure and all that. So first I look at that, the defensive line, linebackers, and then I move on to the next level, onto the DBs, safeties, and all that.
You know, I look today, Luke, at so many quarterbacks, even in the pros. There's so many quarterbacks that do not check off. You know, so having a progression and looking through progressions is huge. You do it all the time, man. I just want to commend you because I've watched you play quite a bit.
Yes, sir.
And it's great to see somebody can look to the left and still throw to the right.
Yeah.
You know, type of thing. Whereas people forget about that because you have in your mind, especially when you're playing with your buddies in high school level, you know, like, hey, throw me the ball. I'm open, right? You know, give it to
Yeah.
me. So, you know, immediately you want to throw it to them. You're looking at them the whole time. And sometimes you force things in there. You don't do that, man. You actually run through your progression, which is really hard for a quarterback to do today.
Yes,
So,
sir.
How do you feel like your speed is though? Because the one thing I will say is that you don't mind mixing it up a little bit. You like that? Did you play a little defense back in the day? You were in defensive end.
I did. I played defensive end. I played linebacker.
Yeah.
So I
So
have.
you're a linebacker playing quarterback, and I've seen you hit a few people, man.
Oh, yeah.
You make them pay. Like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I better not go after this kid as hard as I want to.
Yeah, that's what gave me the toughness I think that I had. Well, really at first, I wrestled when I was younger, so I think that really got me tough. And
There you go. I say that all the time, man. Wrestlers are just bad boys,
yeah.
tough people. Of course, I wrestle as well, but no, wrestling's a different game because it's you and them.
Yeah.
So you learn so many different things. I'm glad you mentioned that 'cause so many kids today, they think they can only play one sport, and that's what they should do
Right.
because that's what they're going to excel at. But there are other sports that they can play that actually will even help them advance even more in what they want to do.
Right.
You know, I encourage that. You know, it's always a big controversy of, well, if you're going to play football in college and you want to go pro, then you should put all your time into that. And I'm just not a big fan of that, man. I think as a kid, you need to be a kid once. And two, there's things you can learn on a basketball court that's going to help you in football.
I
There's things
totally
you can
agree.
learn on a wrestling mat that's going to help you in football.
Yep, I
right?
totally agree. There's certain sports that just give you like a certain skill set that you can use in different sports and just take with you into that sport that you're really trying to focus on.
Yeah. So what's it like at school, man? Being the, QB1, you're a good looking kid. You guys are winning, you got, awards and stuff. In fact, you know what? I'm sitting here with an award right here. This year, actually, and this is the Lester Award. This is Tim Lester.
Yes, sir.
He was the bus, man, the bus
Yep.
driver back in the day
Yep.
from Pittsburgh Steelers. I actually coached with Tim a long time ago, man. Great guy. Rest his soul, man. Rest in may, rest in peace and stuff. Love that, man. But for you to win an award, something like that, man, just tells you a little about your character too, not just your athletic ability on the field. What's your grades like off the field?
I pretty much have A's and B's, about a 3.5 GPA. So I'm a big believer in being a student athlete. I think that's important and just
Do
excelling.
you
on
hear
and off
that?
the
Do you
field.
hear that, students? Hear that, boys out there, and girls, when you're playing, it's important. If you do well in school and you can learn your grades and get the stuff done, you're going to do the same thing on the field.
Right.
And I really feel like it makes people better when it comes time to that because you got to be a student in the game. At quarterback, especially, as you know, you probably want to watch a ton of film, because you got to constantly watch not just your opponents, but you got to watch yourself
Yep.
to say, what am I doing wrong and how can I improve?
For sure.
And I know with your coaching staff over there in Milton, you do a lot of that as well.
Yes, sir. We do it. We do it every week, every day, during the season with my OC, Coach Jackson. So he's really helped me improve my game. Just learning the mental side of the game and just learning those coverages and blitz schemes and all the protections that go with it.
Well, it's weird because there's so many people that I say that are athletes. There's some of these kids that are quarterbacks that are just good athletes. But to me, they're not students of the game, which means, they're going to get capped at a certain level.
Right.
Because when you're dealing with everybody being athletes, but you got an athlete who's also smart and putting in the time to learn, that's going to give you the edge right
Yes, sir.
there. So obviously people have seen that, and that's certainly happened to you. Hey, folks, this is Wham Bam at Wham Bam's Podcast. I want to take a moment to thank our major sponsor, Cost Plus Processing, the leader in merchant processing. If you're a business owner and you're accepting credit cards or need to accept credit cards, reach out to Cost Plus Processing at 1-855-391-9190. That's 1-855-391-9190. And find out why they are the future in merchant processing. Now back to the show. But what's school like? What's it like walking around the halls, man? You know, you a popular guy over at school, or you kind of keep to yourself?
I'm definitely pretty popular. Just, I have a lot of friends and just kind of, enjoy life with them. And
You got a girlfriend,
have
man?
fun. I do.
You do?
I do.
What's her name?
Her name's Becca.
Becca? Oh,
She
yeah?
might be watching this. Who knows?
Yeah, Becca, a little shout out to you. Better treat this boy right. So, is she a good girl, man?
Yeah, she's really good.
All right. Is she playing any sports, do you think?
She's a cheerleader.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, cheerleader for football?
Yes.
Oh, so
and then she
she's-
does like the competition cheer.
Now,
as
does
well.
that throw you off, man? Game day, you look over there and there's your girl cheerleading.
No,
Go,
not at
Luke,
all.
go. No, does that bother you at all?
But when we were running out those banners, I always see her to the right, so I think it's kind of funny, just like looking over there and then.
Did you ever accidentally trip, man? As
No,
you're going through?
I can't do that.
That would have
That'll
been embarrassing.
Yeah, it would be embarrassing. I can't do that.
Well, don't let a woman distract you. I'll be the
Right.
first one to tell you. But that's good
sir.
that everybody needs somebody good, in your life to share things with. So that's cool. So obviously, this year you made a great run, 13-2. Did you guys think that you could win states when you went there? I mean, you beat 3 top 25 teams, didn't you?
Yeah, 3 top 25 teams from the quarterfinals to state. But going through that whole year and the whole offseason, we always knew we had one of the most talented teams in the state. And it was just a matter of getting everybody together and bonding as one team and just getting that brotherhood aspect of our team just to come together and reach our full potential. And earlier in the season, we got two losses. And I feel like that's what grew us together is just those 2 losses. And we really bonded off of it. And
I tell people all the time, loses. I mean, you have to lose, number one.
Right.
You have to lose to understand what winning's all about.
Yeah.
Okay. But, you definitely learn more from a loss than you do from win.
Yeah.
Because when you're winning, it's easier, but you don't really understand. When you lose, then you realize what winning's all about.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
exactly. Right when you lose, you just you get that feeling of you don't want that to happen. So you want to put that extra hard work and just that extra want to win, the desire to win.
Now, what's it like as far as injuries? You get hurt at all this year? You get banged up at all? I know people are coming at you. People trying to knock your ass down. Did you have any injuries? Did you miss any time?
I had some little minor injuries, just kind of that were banging me a little bit, but no serious like major issues, just kind of lingering, bothering.
So let's talk about
injuries.
that a little bit. How do you take care of your body afterwards, like after practice? Do you have any routines? Do you do anything to, some people are cold plunging, some people are, going through therapy, compressions, different things. What does Luke do?
So every practice or every time I throw, really, I try to ice my arm after, just to be able to take care of my shoulder and my elbow. I feel like that's pretty important to me. But during the week of a game day, I'll get to after practice. I'll go get my ice on my shoulder and stuff, and then the next day, and then the days after that, I'll be able to go in before practice and just get extra treatment on my shoulder, whether that's stretching it out and kind of just loosening up the muscles, and same thing with my legs, just loosening up the muscles, just so I can feel as healthy as possible.
No, that's good. I tell so many kids, it's so important, not just before practice that you're stretching, but afterwards. I just see so many kids after practice, they just want to run to Chick-fil-A and grab their bag of food or whatever. They just want to get the heck out of there and go relax and stuff. But really, that's really when your body needs it the most.
Yes.
And it's so important, especially if you're going to the next level, which we know you are. You got to take care of your body, because that's your temple, man. That's your money.
Yeah, it's super important.
It's super important. So, obviously we know you had a lot of opportunities to sign a lot of different places. Okay. Colleges been coming at you all year. When did you get your first offer? How old? You're 16 right now, right?
Right.
16 years old, man. You're 16 years old. When did you get your first offer? And where was it to? Do you remember?
I got my first offer my freshman year from Michigan State. So I was in class, and I got a text from my brother.
Yeah.
And he said, "You need to call this guy." And so I called him. I went out of class. I was like, can I please just go to the restroom? I got to go call somebody. So I went to the bathroom and just called him. And he offered me, and I was just super thankful because that's what I've been working for my whole life. And obviously there was more work to do, and there still is. But it gave me a big relief just knowing that I'm on the right track.
Yeah, somebody recognized you
Yes, sir.
as well. Do you ever think about that playing with your brother?
Yeah.
You know, throwing the ball to him. He's playing a tight end over there, right?
Yeah.
What would that be
I
like?
don't know, it would be really cool.
Yeah.
But, I really wish I didn't break my thumb my freshman year, because when he was a senior, I wish I was able to play my freshman year, but because of the injury, I wasn't able to, participate during that season.
Well, he's still got a few more years left, right, of playing.
Oh,
You
yeah.
never know. You guys
Yep,
might meet
you
back
never
up.
know. You never know. That would be unbelievable. I wish, that would be super cool just to be able to play with him, and just because I've known him my whole life, and I mean he's literally.
So tell
my
the
brother.
viewers where you're committed to.
I'm committed to the University of Miami.
Miami. So being committed to University of Miami, obviously you had many, many offers. You could have went pretty much anywhere you wanted to. You had a choice. What made you choose Miami? Did they give you more money? Come on, just tell us. Did NIL money come out? Did it come out?
No, we that will obviously come whenever I become the starter and play and really just improve
Did you hear
myself.
that, folks? When he becomes the starter. He didn't say if I become the starter. When I become the starter. I like it. I like it.
But I really just chose Miami just based off of the culture, the trust I have in the coaching staff, and just the confidence I have that they're going to go bring that place back to the glory days.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great athletes that came through there.
Yes, sir.
You know, Michael Irvin's one of my faves. You know, but yeah, there's been a ton of people that came through there. You know, being down in Miami, having this opportunity, you think maybe you think your brother might transfer? You think you might see him down there? Is that a possibility? Have you ever talked about that with him at all?
I've definitely talked to him about it. I think that would be super cool just to be able to play with him another time, and because I mean that would just be unbelievable.
Yeah.
I definitely got to try and see if we can make that work.
There you go, man. That would be cool. That'd
Yeah,
be
it
cool.
really would.
So it's kind of cool. Actually, I got got a couple places in Miami being built right now. They'll be done. So I'm looking forward to coming down
There we
watching you
go.
play down there.
There we go.
In the big Miami. So not a bad place to be. The sun's always shining. People always happy. That's the one good thing
Yes,
about
sir.
Miami. But that being said, obviously, even though you're committed to Miami, you still got to have people pulling at you and tugging at you, right? Because we've seen it happen before where people have uncommitted and went somewhere else. The people still kind of tugging at you a little bit and saying, hey, come on over here, Luke.
Yeah, definitely some schools that are coming my way. Just being able to have those schools is just a testament of how hard I've been working my whole life.
So listen, we won't say the name of the school, but tell us about one of the coolest things that maybe a school did for you. Like they did something like a little bit over the top. They didn't just kind of give you a tour of the school, but maybe they did something cool, something super cool.
Yeah, I got something in mind. I think it's when I went on my visit. I got out of the car, and right at the entrance of the school, they had like this carpet, and all the coaching staff, like the whole coaching staff, was standing in like a column of line, and they were just cheering.
Like
whatever.
a little red carpet there.
Yep,
The coach is
just
like,
a little
there's
bit
all right.
like that. Yeah.
That's got to get your hair up a little bit, get you
No,
all
it
excited.
It felt pretty exciting. I can't lie.
Now, does that put more pressure on you? Obviously, now, even though that you've committed to them, you know that they're watching and stuff. Do you feel like, if you make a bad play or you mess up, does it bother you? Does it affect you a little bit more because you feel like there's a little bit more pressure?
I feel like at this point, now that I've committed to the University of Miami, really just enjoy the process as it was, and I feel like now that I am committed, there's definitely some pressure maybe off of it just because I know that I committed for it and I don't need to really look back anymore. And I think that just now being committed, a lot of pressure has been off my shoulders, and I can just go out there and do the thing I love and just go play and have fun.
Yeah. Now, being a quarterback, obviously all eyes are always on you, but you make a turnover, somebody costs the game. Now, fortunately, you didn't have that happen last year, but I'm sure it's happened before where you've gotten, the team down. how do you deal with pressure? Like, do you like pressure? Do you strive? Like, does that turn you, like, do you like the pressure? Like, hey, I'd rather it be us down by, point, fourth quarter, give me the ball, give me a minute, and I want that pressure? Or does that do you freeze up a little bit and like, I'd rather be up by 21?
No, I actually feed off the pressure. I think that's why I chose to play quarterback. I really like being in that atmosphere of put the ball in my hands and then trust the guys that I'm going to go make a play. I can rely on my receivers, my running backs to go make a play. Just being in that atmosphere. Obviously, it can be rough sometimes just because everyone's looking at you to see what you're thinking, and maybe if it might not even be your fault, but everyone will blame it on you. And the biggest thing as a quarterback is just taking that responsibility and kind of learning how to deal with it, and maybe saying sometimes like my bad, even if it's not your bad, and just taking that responsibility, knowing that you can kind of take that and just learn from it and grow as a person, and then just keep have that the personality and the leadership to kind of take that step and bring it to your guys, so that guys, whenever they look at you, they can feed off of it and they can take that into their direction.
Yeah. That's very well said and very mature for a 16-year-old to come out of you. I mean, shoot, if I had a college, I'd want you to play for mine too. I mean, you're saying all the right things. I mean, realistically, that's what you want. You want a quarterback that says, hey, I want the pressure, because that's what makes a person great.
Yeah.
When you can overcome that, right?
Right.
Let's be honest. In life, no matter what you do, whether it's football, whether it's work, whatever it is, you're going to fail at some things. You're going to have some bad days. That's going to be part of it. It's just how do you handle that, and how do you bounce back? Right. And that's really what determines the kind of person that you really are. So I think it's important. It's important that you know that, and it sounds like you got all that figured out already, which is pretty darn cool.
Yes, sir.
So, let's go back a little bit to Milton, to state champions, because I want to talk about this, because everybody nobody believed that Milton was going to win. I mean, 7A, man. This is good football. Like,
Very
this
good.
is the top of the
Best,
top.
Probably the best in the country.
Yeah, exactly. And you're playing top 3, 25, but here you are. You're finally now you made it to the final. Well, first of all, what game in the playoffs do you feel like was the one that you felt like you guys played your best? Like, okay, this is what got us to the end.
Yeah, I think offensively, the best was the semifinal game. We put up close to 600 yards of total offense. I threw for 440 yards. I rushed for like another 70.
You say that, so I threw for 400, no biggie, day at work.
But yeah, no, we played some really tough teams through that playoff run. We were underdogs from the quarterfinals even till the state championship. And I think we really took that and kind of feeded off of it. I mean, the 3 top teams in the 25, we were underdogs all the way, and we stuck through it. We stuck through it all and just came out on top.
Yeah, you sure did. What was it like finally when you went to the finals, walking out there, in the dome, going through the tunnel? You're fortunate because you've been there before.
Yes, sir.
But this is a big game. It's a big field. It's a big environment, because it's not just a playoff game. It's not just a conference game. This is for the state. Like, this is everybody. This is the best of the best. And not only are you there, but you got coaches there, you got scouts there, you got NFL people there. Like, what was that like, man? What was that feeling like when the national anthem's playing? You're sitting there with your helmet ready to go. Like, were you nervous at all, man? Were you teared up? What was your emotions like?
Yeah, I usually never get too nervous during games, before the games, but during the state championship game, when you first walk out there for warm-ups, you can tell you're in a different atmosphere. It just feels different. Definitely maybe some goosebumps there, just how big the stadium was. But when you go through warm-ups, you kind of get adjusted to it. And the way I went through it was just looking at my teammates left and right, and just knowing that they got my back and I got theirs. That's how we really got through that all.
Well, that's one thing you guys definitely did. You guys played as a unit. I know you had some defensive help there as well.
Yep.
You had probably one of the hardest hits there, over
oh my God.
Toomey over there, right?
Yeah,
he put a licking on one boy, and that play's going to go down in history, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a great moment for you for that moment. From that point there, the day after, like, what do you do the day after you win a state championship? Like, what do you do that night? What do you do that day after? I know people want to know.
Yeah, no. That night I hung out with my friends, just kind of
You have a party, big party, man.
I'm not really a big partier.
Yeah.
No. Just kind of like hang out with my friends, hang out with my family, and just kind of do my thing. But
Was Becca there?
she
Becca
was.
Okay, I just want to make sure, man.
Yeah,
Make sure.
no,
I
of
was checking.
course. But yeah, so really just hung out with them, and then the next morning, it kind of hit me. Realized we were state champions.
Yeah, I did it.
Because when we were on that podium, it felt real, but that next morning is when it really kind of sat in my head and just it kind of hit me when we really won.
Hey, folks, this is Wham Bam at Wham Bam's Podcast. I just wanted to let you know that we've launched our website and merchandise is now available to you. That's right. We have hats. We have T-shirts. We have hoodies. The hoodies have been going off the shelf already. The Stay Positive hoodies. That's right. Stay positive, folks, and keep tested negative. As you know, go to our website at www.whambamspodcast.com. That's www.whambamspodcast.com. Now back to our show. You know, the cool thing about that podium at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the only time they pull out that podium is, a championship game.
Right.
The Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or, if you're fortunate enough to play like an SEC game or something like that championship game, the national championship, then that game, right?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself like, okay, this is a step, man. I know what it's like to be on this podium, and I'm coming back.
Yeah, I can see that. It just being in that stadium and knowing that like that's an NFL stadium. This is where the best of the best play. It kind of just hits you in a good way. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting back to work this off season with my teammates and my coaches, and just looking forward to try to go back to back. And we know it's going to take a lot, and we know it's going to take a lot.
You got a lot of
hard
kids
work.
back, man,
We
right?
do.
You got a lot of kids back.
We
though.
do. It's 17
Yeah.
starters.
Yeah.
We lost some key pieces,
Sure.
some really good players, but I have a good feeling that we have the right pieces for those.
Coach 'em up.
losses. Yes, exactly. Our program is very well put together with building kids the right way and building them from freshman to senior year. They get a lot of progress from those years.
What do you think that's the reason for that? Do you think it's just because of the area? They always talk about, Milton sometimes bringing in kids. Do you see that happen a lot? Like, there's some controversy, some people saying, hey, they're kind of shipping kids in and giving them homes and putting them on the teams and stuff. Do you see that a lot? I mean, I know it happens.
Yeah, we heard that rumor all season long. We had a bunch of transfers that came in. They came in the right way. They moved for their better. They moved as a family and moved into their house. So we've heard it all year long, and we kind of use it as our team motto is the M versus them, because we always had the people outside of that program kind of going up against us, and we realized that it's us versus them versus every other team. Whenever we go up on Friday nights, it's us versus them, and really just using that as our motto really got us to the state championship.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an exciting year. I can't wait to see how it ends up and where you guys end up. I won't be surprised at all if you're back on that podium. You guys dropping down too, right? You're not a 7A now.
Yeah, we actually go to 5A.
You go to 5A. You went from 7A to 5A. How does that happen?
They're getting rid of 7A as a whole, and then 7A and 6A will be combined in now, so it'll just be 6A.
Yeah.
So we're going to go down to 5A just because of our school population has went down a little bit.
Wow, that's crazy to think that.
I know.
But you know what? You never know. There's good competition every
Actually,
level.
this past year we were supposed to be in 6A, but we petitioned to go up, and I thought it was for the better. We wanted to play against the best, and because that's what really produces us to be the best people and the best players that we can be.
Right. Well, the truth of the matter is, let's be honest, this is the 7A, 6A, the difference really is, like you said, is population.
Right.
All it means is you got more people to choose from. Doesn't mean you're really better.
No.
Right? There's some 6As, 5A schools that got some really good teams.
Yeah.
Good talent out there that you got to play against and be with. So what does Luke want to do for a living? Like, is it true you want to be a nurse? Somebody told me you want to be a nurse. Is that true?
Someone told you?
No, I'm just joking with you. I just want to do what you want.
Yeah, no, I don't know if the nurse side of things will be my fitting, but
What is it you want to do?
I think I'm looking into business maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure yet. I'm still kind of like looking at it and just enjoying the process and seeing as life goes on, just kind of going about it, and I'll kind of I don't want to figure it out then, but I still feel like I have a lot of time to just kind of figure that out.
Do you want to be a professional football player?
Of course.
Okay, so that is a goal.
Yeah, that's
I
my
was
main
curious.
goal.
I was curious.
Yeah, so that's the main goal that we're striving for.
Gotcha.
Is to be in the pro.
So that's the road you want to take.
That's the road I
is
want.
getting there. Now you know that comes with a big price, right?
Oh, it does.
You know,
Yes,
and there's comes a lot of sacrifice. Kids today don't realize the amount of sacrifice it takes
Yeah.
to be on the next level. Just not only just in college, but then boom, another level again. Like I said, everybody's good. Everybody's wanted and stuff. You know, being in college, obviously you spent some time down in Miami. You know, how many trips have you gone down to their campus?
I've gone 3 times now. So I went in the summer right after I got offered, and we went for a little cookout deal, and that was really the first time I've ever been to the campus, and that's really what made me fall in love with the school and the coaching staff. And then I went for a game when they played Texas A&M. That was a really cool experience, just being able to go see the tailgating and see them actually play a game, and then just that atmosphere.
Now,
And
did you
then-
commit before that? That was
So I
game?
committed right after like the cookout deal. So I
Gotcha.
committed like 2 weeks or 3 weeks after that.
So let me ask you: after you committed stuff, do they let you in the locker? Like, do you ever like, hey, let me listen in on the play calls? You know,
Yeah,
let me hear.
Yeah, during the cookout deal, I was in the offensive team room, just kind of like getting the feel of the coaching staff of the offensive side, and he kind of taught me some of his plays even already, and so I was already getting a feel for his coaching style and all that. But after the game, on the Texas A&M game, the commits get to go into the locker room and kind of share that special moment with the players and just kind of have fun with them and just being able to enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I often wondered that, you know, if they let the players, you know, do you listen in? Can you, hear the scheme and learn some of the plays, you know, prior to you being committed would be, you know, kind of like a little NDA. You got to sign something just to make sure you don't give our secrets out. But, well, that's cool, man. You know, obviously, you know, Miami's a great place. Got to ask you though, because I know a lot of people want to know. Colorado. Have they ever reached out with you, Dion?
Colorado never reached out.
No. So
Never.
Dion never reached out.
They came to my school one time. I think it was the running backs coach came to come see me, but no really specific true interest from them.
Yeah. What did you think about that? Like, were you upset about it? Was Colorado ever on your radar? Was that a place that you said, hey, Dion's doing some, I mean, what do you think about what he's doing
I
over
always
there?
thought it was, I always thought it was a cool place to maybe play at just because of the scenery and, of course, Dion. But I never really was thinking about Colorado before. And I always knew that just trusting the process and finding the school that's best fit for me.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So football's over right now. School's getting winding down. You're playing 7-on-7 for Cam Newton's team. How dictating is that for you? Like how brutal is it? Is it a heavy schedule for you for practices with 7-on-7 stuff? Or is there a lot of tournaments going on? Like what do they got going on?
Yeah, no, we got tournaments probably every other weekend.
Oh, wow.
So our schedule gets pretty busy.
So what is that like? Like you guys went to Miami. Like Cam fly you guys down to Miami and everything,
yeah,
or
so
what?
he got us all flights to down to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And,
Where'd he fly it? Did he fly first class, man?
I didn't get no first class.
No first class.
No,
on that?
it was nice though. It was
Yeah.
on JetBlue. It was
Okay.
good.
All right.
But we stayed. He got us an Airbnb to stay in, which was pretty cool.
What do you think Cam would say though if you said, "Hey, you know what? I'm QB1. I should be flying first class."
Oh, I think.
he would have done it, right?
Honestly, he probably would have got me in first class.
Yeah. All right.
I
Okay.
think so. I think he would want to prove to us that like he can get us into first class.
Right.
Like, that's just the type of person he is, and
Yeah.
I respect that, just the way he goes about things. And
Yeah. So when's the next tournament coming up?
I think it will be February 18th that weekend. It'll be in Tampa.
What's
So
the
it'll
hardest
be
thing
cool.
about 7-on-7 for you?
I think the hardest thing is just
Because it's really just really a more mental game, right?
right. And the thing about 7-on-7 is so many players play on different teams, and you're never really playing with the guys you know, so you're not really familiar with those players. And this goes back to the thing that we were talking about, timing. And I felt like we practice with Cam Newton, and we have our practices, which normally 7-on-7 teams don't really do that. And that's, I think, the preparation part that goes into it with us is that we get that timing down and we get the connectivity together, and that's why we're able to go win those tournaments like last weekend in Miami.
Now, I'm going to ask you, does he cheat a little bit? Cam Newton, I've been told, cheats a little bit in his own tournaments. That's what the word is, man. It says, you know what? He's got the referees a little bit, they're a little greased on the backside,
No cheating going around in the C1N program. But,
how can you, though? Let's be honest.
Right, that's the thing.
I mean, come on, man. There's no tackling.
There's never been a play where
you're throwing a football. They either catch it or they don't.
Right. That's the thing. So, I mean, one time this past weekend, a guy caught a touchdown, and one of the players was like, how much money is Cam paying the refs? And I'm like, he caught a touchdown. There's nothing else you can say about it. Like his feet were in bounds. He just caught the ball.
Right.
So there's a lot of that going around, just kind of like saying that he's
That's
paying.
the haters, like we said earlier.
Exactly.
You always get that. How about you? Do you get some haters out there now? People starting to recognize you, know who you are? Are they, trying to curse you and, they jaw at you a little bit, try to piss you off, get your mental game going?
Yeah,
because I gotta imagine that's got to be part of it. Like I didn't try to get in your head,
right?
Because I can't tackle you, I can't hit you, so I just got to try to get in his head so that he throws a pick.
That's the big part in 7-on-7, just like the trash talking that goes on.
Is there? So there's a lot.
There's a lot of it. I mean, it's probably worse than real football, honestly.
Do you talk back or you just like listen and smile?
What I usually do is I'll after a good play, I'll kind of just give them something. And
like what? What do you say?
And then sometimes before the play, like if I know it's gonna work, I just like have the confidence that it's gonna work. I kind of will say something before, like, watch this, like something like that, just to kind of let them know beforehand. Like I was like this past week, I think it was the Mike linebacker. I was like talking about how this play we were already going to score this next play, and the next play we scored. So it's just kind of funny just to go about it.
Yeah. Do you got a lot of respect out there on the field though?
Yeah.
Afterwards,
I got
trash talking just kind of during a game.
Yeah.
You guys got good.
And my trash talk, I don't really trash talk. I just kind of.
I mean, some of these guys you might play with someday.
Right. That's the thing. So I have a lot of respect for all those players. I really was we all just mess around out there and just have fun.
Yeah.
But I have a ton of respect for the game, for all the players that we're playing against and competing with.
Now, do you got a game day routine? I know a lot of people, myself back in the day, I used to listen to a little Rocky. I just have to get fired up before the game and stuff. I used to tape my joints, like LT back in the day. I play linebacker, so that was important for me. But do you get any game day routines that you do? Things that you eat, like I gotta eat, I'm eating 2 pancakes and a boiled egg. I don't know.
I feel like I'm gonna give you something boring here, but I actually do not have any game day routines.
Nothing. So
I really just try to I try not to think about anything. Just go about my day.
Damn it! I thought the Lucky Charms actually worked for me.
Well, for some people it works. I really do believe it. For some people, it really does help, and just kind of like. It's their special thing, but to me, I don't really have anything that's too special out there.
So let me ask you: you don't listen to any cool music? What do you like opera or something? What do you listen to?
I'll listen to some music before the game.
Like what? Like what do you? What's on your playlist, man?
Some hip hop, rap, all that kind of stuff.
Who's your biggest hip hop artist? Who's your favorite?
My favorite right now is probably Lil Baby.
Lil Baby's favorite. Yeah. All right, okay. Yeah. Nothing else on the playlist. Straight hip hop, rap.
I'll have some country on there.
Little country mix in there?
Yeah, just a little bit, just to kind of, you can't have too much rap on there.
There you go.
You got to have a mixture of all of it.
Now, let me ask you this. Being a quarterback, halftime, because halftime is obviously a critical point in the game.
For sure.
And I know Milton did this phenomenal. You guys came out second half, you were a whole different. Like, you guys made adjustments. Your coaching staff did a great job, but you could see it. Like, you guys got better as the game went on, which is what you want to do, but it's hard for a lot of teams to do that.
Right.
What do you do at halftime as a quarterback when you go in there, whether you're down or things aren't looking as good as they should be, you're trailing, you're behind? Because you guys were behind at times, but you came back second half and did your thing.
Yeah, so the thing with us is we'll get our coaching staff to come in, and they'll kind of like talk through some of the new plays that we're going to run based off of the looks that we got, and really just talk about the game plan going through that next half. But for me, really, it's really just taking that role as a leader, and just keeping the guys focused and just kind of giving them the courage to go out there and go out for another 2 quarters and just let them know we can do this. Like, we got 2 more quarters to go play. Let's go do this thing.
Yeah, that's good. Good advice.
Yeah.
Obviously you talked about going pro. If you could choose a team to be drafted by, who would it be?
They may not be the best team right now, but honestly, I think I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Falcons. Just growing
Hometown
up, yep,
boy.
Hometown.
I'll tell you what, we could use you right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I
the
think
Falcons
just
could
growing up-
use you. I'm gonna
right.
put you. I'm gonna put that on dial right there, Arthur Blank, right there. You know, give him 4 more years.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, I just think
5 years.
growing
5
up-
years. Holy cow,
Yeah.
that's right. You're 16.
Yeah, growing up here, I think it would be kind of cool to play for my hometown team and just kind of live in Atlanta, the place I've grown up my whole life.
Yeah. Give back a little bit too,
Yeah,
huh? That'd be kind of
exactly.
fun.
Yeah,
Give
that'd
us
be
some
super
W. You know, we were so
That's
close,
another
man.
thing.
You
That'd
wouldn't
be
you wouldn't
super
pull a Tom Brady, you know, like he did against the Falcons. You wouldn't be on
No
the other
way.
side of that one.
No way.
No way.
No way.
So, Luke, you know, a lot of younger kids are out there. A lot of kids always want to be quarterback. That's the first, you know, kid that's, you know, they got a football. They want to play football. They want to run the ball. They want to be the quarterback, right? What would you tell some of these kids today? Because looking back, you know, you can only have one quarterback on the field, but it doesn't mean that you can't play the game, or it doesn't mean that there won't be a point in your life where you can actually develop into a quarterback. There was a time where you weren't a quarterback, right?
Right.
You know, and like you said, you play linebacker, you play D, you play other positions. What do you got to say to some of the younger kids out there that you know, look up to you now and say, "Wow, I want to be like Luke," you know, and stuff about that whole process?
Yeah, so I think the thing about quarterback is a lot of people don't realize how hard it can get for you, and they see it as like, because when you're getting the props, when they think about when the team wins, you look at the quarterback most of the time, but then the thing is when you lose, they blame it on the quarterback most of the time. So I think a lot of kids don't really see that part of it, and they just kind of want to be on the good side of the quarterbacking, but obviously, the position is great, and that's what I love. The thing is, for quarterbacks, I think you got to have the confidence, you got to have the leadership, and just be yourself, and kind of you got to have some, you got to have the personality. Just kind of when things don't go your way, you got to have an ability to, when the adversity comes, you got to wipe it out. And so, say you throw a pick. You got to block it all away, move it on to the next play, keep your guys focused throughout the whole game, and just when that adversity hits, you can't crumble and fall into you just can't do that, because everyone's counting on you as the quarterback.
And there you have it, folks, man. You heard it directly from Luke himself, man. As he said, if things are down on you and adversity hits you, you can't let that bother you, man. Don't let it steal your attitude. You got to just, boom, shake it off and move on and know that there's another play ahead. You got to make sure that you follow Luke. Go ahead and follow him. We're going to go ahead and throw up his, his Instagram. You on Instagram?
I do. It's Luke Nickel __.
There you go. Luke Nickel _. Follow this kid because he's got big things ahead of him. Luke, thanks again for coming today. We're super excited about your journey. We're going to be rooting for you, man. We're watching it. And I got a feeling that one day you're going to end up going pro.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, man.
I had a great time.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. There it is, folks. As you've seen it again, Luke Nickel, your future NFL Atlanta Falcons. Wham Bam said it first. This podcast was brought to you by Cost Plus Processing, the leader in merchant processing. Call 1-855-391-9190 and find out why they are the future in merchant processing.